Well, yes, indeed. Some snippet on the developments as concerning the fight against terrorism and several others. It's taken into cyberspace, he did say that. Well, join this morning to take a look at some of this. Max Ganite, Strategic Security Consultant. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today. Well, it does appear there's a new perspective approach, perhaps I should say, with regards to our fight against terrorism. Well, yes, some gains have been made, but you also have many who just have a question concerning how this is progressing. First and foremost, let's start from your perspective. You have also been keeping tabs on how this has progressed, but let's get first and foremost your impression of the kind of gains or otherwise that we've made about defeating Boko Haram.
Good morning, Chamberlain and members of the panel, and good morning, Nigerians. I think I need to sectorize the gains so far on the fight against terrorism. I might also add that I am a certified counter-terrorism expert, having attended an executive course at Herzliya Institute in Israel. I got that certification sometime last year also. Now, before the election was postponed because the then NSA insisted that we must clear Boko Haram from certain local governments in Nigeria. Therefore, the protocol for that clearance started then. But after the change of government, and there is a new COAS. COAS means Chief of Army Staff. You can see a more determined effort, new strategies, new operational activities taking place. And the COAS is quite correct in saying that the landmass of Borno is quite large. It is about 90,000 square kilometers for Borno alone. Talk about Yobe, which is almost the same size, and then Adamawa, which is about 80,000 kilometers in size. So the pockets of Boko Haram have been moved from holding any territory from Nigeria, and that is a fact. We no longer see Boko Haram driving APCs, taunting our military. Our military have become the hunters, and Boko Haram have become on the run. We have seen the military rescue more than 5,000 women and children from the dens of Boko Haram. Some of them also are suffering from Stockholm Syndrome, some who have been indoctrinated into Boko Haram activities. We have seen lesser attacks by Boko Haram on communities, but Boko Haram is like a chameleon. They have gone back to asymmetry. They have developed new shaheeds. Who is a shaheed? A shaheed is a suicide bomber. So we must attack their mindset. We must change the narrative to degrade the recruitment of shaheeds in the Boko Haram vicinage. The military, as it is today, have made us to sleep better. But let me go back to last year, December. The military published 100 most wanted names of Boko Haram. We, the civilians, do not know how important that list was at that particular time. And one of the Boko Haram was arrested at Abuja airport doing a trial run to reconnoiter the Abuja airport vicinage for a soft target attack. Had it not been that 100 names were published and he was identified at the airport, such arrest would not have been made. In other words, I would like to see the print media to be partners by putting an insert in their center page of their newspapers publishing these faces. Then you come to the police sector. Under RSA, police have become intelligence based. The police have recorded milestones in recovery of kidnapped victims because the police have migrated into technology. And that is a wonderful approach to policing. And I'm hoping that the new IGP will build on what Arase have put in place and develop more on that. Then you come to the DSS department.
Sorry, Mr. Gbanite,
There is
if we
a
may
clear
interrupt
departure.
you.
I would like to still...
Just a moment before you go to the DSS.
I would still like to say...
Just a moment before you go to the DSS. I think the initial question was about the war, taking the war to the cyberspace. You've enumerated how it is that the military has, succeeded in a great way, to a large extent, on the ground. And now they say that they're going to the cyberspace. Why do you think this is necessary? What has happened to necessitate this?
Mope, that's a wonderful question. The terrorists have always been in the dark web. They've always been there in the cyberspace. It's just that we didn't take note of that because the first operational priority was to get them off the ground. And that the military have succeeded in doing. Therefore, the military have decided now to migrate to cyber war. Look, Boko Haram have intelligentsia. They have brilliant people working with laptops, taking money from banks, financing their operations. That is a fact. It's just that we need to migrate to that fight. Do we have enough intelligentsia, enough commitment to fight the war in the cyber? That is another question. Is the military funded properly to take this war into cyber? Because that is the next migration of this war. And they have proven that they can hack into any system in this country and show private documents of any Nigerian to the media and pretend to be an expose or investigative journalism. So it is proper for the military to look into this. It is an innovation. It is part of the new developments all over the world in the military divisions, especially on countries that take itself very serious in terms of fighting terrorism. I'm just saying that we are coming into it very late, but it's teaching time saves 9. Since we are in it now, I commend the current Chief of Army Staff for, again, moving into this space. It has been there. If you know, in the past, Boko Haram have been able to post all kinds of activities on the YouTube. How did they get there? It is through the dark web pages that they used, and they were very effective. But today, we haven't seen much of that.
Mr. Gbanite, a moment
because there is a joint effort by the international community, that to again monitor what is going on in the dark web. Therefore, we must migrate, and I think I'm very excited because I know young Nigerians, eggheads, who are waiting for this opportunity to have a discussion with the military,
let me comment here, Mr.
police,
Gbanite. I want
customs,
us
immigration,
to look more, I think, keenly into the aspect of cyber space, which you said the terrorists have been using. You just reminded us that they've always had videos which they post almost all the time in times past. But when you say going into private documents, are you talking about accounts or some kind of information about the country that you think that the military should try as much as possible to go into with these eggheads you say we have?
Look, your record and my records are not safe. There was a reason why MTN and the telecom decided to recertify the GSM ownership by asking us to come back and re-register our SIM cards, because their records are hackable. The National Identification Management System records are hackable. The NSA's records are hackable. And Boko Haram, like I have said earlier, have used the intelligentsia in their midst to hack bank accounts. Last year, it was reported that over 12 billion naira were lost to hackers on cyber crime. That at least was mentioned by the National Security Advisor. And some of that money came from Boko Haram hackers. Then in terms of records, look, I am amazed that cable news and other online publishers put things online, especially recently someone mentioned about the Chief of Army Staff's investment in Dubai. Those documents were hacked and brought to fore. The Chief of Army Staff did not present those documents to whomever published it online. They were hacked and brought to fore. And our president today uses GSM. There is nothing securing his line because we have sold NITEL, which would have been the backbone of our telecommunications security. Now, all our communication systems are on foreign hands except Glo. MTN is owned by South Africa, Airtel by another international community, Etisalat, which means whatever discussions we're having is encrypted and can be decoded and can be hacked. And these informations are very dangerous for the nation. We need to rethink again.
All right, Mr. Benite.
That was why
just give us a minute.
Last administration think about
just hang on a bit, Mr.
emails and the activities online. We said no, it shouldn't be done.
Can you hear me, Mr. Benite?
And I agree, it shouldn't be done because it should not be announced openly. It should be done covertly.